los creadores del sonido, que no hable quien no ha vivido, los creadores del sonido, que no hable quien no ha vivido.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time, welcome. Thank you for giving this a chance. So, I've been wanting to speak about this topic forever because I'm just so passionate about Latin ballroom. I love dancing so much and I just want to improve and improve and improve to the point where like I want to be good all the time. Like, okay, so I'm going to tell you guys something. So, I'm on break right now. I'm in med school and I'm on break. Although the break is almost over because I'm going back to Uganda next week. But anyways, at the beginning of my break, I asked these two of my favorite dance partners, and I was like, hey, can we do a video? And it was so last minute, like I did it the day before I was leaving, and luckily, like they were so sweet, they actually came to my house and we did a video, but I kept messing up. I kept messing up because number one, I was supposed to leave within 2 hours to go to the airport. And so oh shit, did I really just do this video with my nails this chipped? Hi. But anyways, so like I was supposed to go to the airport in like 2 hours and I felt guilty that I'd like code them last minute so early, and then I kept messing up. Like my brain was just filled with all these thoughts, and then the fact that I was recording it to show you guys, like I just got so nervous I kept messing up. I want to be so good that I never mess up ever. Like you can just grab me and we start dancing and I don't mess up. Like I follow and that's my goal. But anyways, so now that you know how I'm so passionate about Latin ballroom, you understand why I had to do a video about this. Because I just want other people to get into it. Like, I want people around me to just love it so much. I don't know, I'm just like that. When I love something, I want other people to love it. So, first, Latin ballroom, what is it? So, you have salsa, you have bachata, you have merengue, you have rumba, you have cha-cha, you have tango, you have like... what else should I even list? So Kizomba is African, so that's, but I'm still gonna talk about it because it was my first like big dancing thingy. Even though it's African, it's from Angola specifically, and so is samba. Samba though is also Latin ballroom. Samba, different dances, different origins, different, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's what Latin ballroom is. So obviously, because it's Latin ballroom, as a Ugandan, obviously it's not even my culture. But I just got so into it when I would watch people dancing and I was just like, I don't know, it just looked so amazing. And I just wanted to, I've always, since I was young, I would see and I was like, I have to do that when I'm older. And I'm older and I'm doing it. And it makes me feel so fulfilled. So obviously, like I said, because I'm not Latina, I'm definitely not qualified to speak about the dances like they are, but I'm still going to talk about them because I love them so much and I want to pull in more people basically. My first introduction to ballroom was when I was in Iowa. We had this class, like this ballroom class. We would do it like for 2 hours every Wednesday, just once a week. And we did different, not just Latin ballroom actually. We learned the waltz, we learned the foxtrot, we learned tango. Like we did different dances. Obviously salsa was one of them. We definitely did Kizomba. But like, I remember being like, yo, I could do this. Like we would do like a dance for 2 like lessons, then we'd switch to another one. Or maybe not even that, maybe just 1 lesson because it was like 8 lessons total, 2 hours. And I remember being like, yo, I have to do this in the future. Like, I have to find a way to be able to add ballroom to my life. I also took this class with Mode. Oh my gosh, I love Mode so much. And those of you who know Mode, I miss him. But anyways, Mode, he did this Afro-Cuban class. And so as the name sounds, we were able to do salsa. We also did some African dances. But I remember being like, yo, like this is amazing. And I remember Mode used to teach Kizomba, but I never got a chance. Mode is actually Ghanaian. I should have known I'd end up in Ghana someday. If the person who was introducing me to salsa was Ghanaian, I don't know, that should have been a hint. I just know it's something I want to do for life. The first dance thingy that I went to here in Kenya, I met this guy who has been dancing for 20 years. He's 28. And I was like, I'm so jealous. Like, I've only been at this for a year. I wish I could. I want to be able to be like, yeah, I've been dancing for 10 years. You know, like, I'm that experienced. I'm not. I'm a beginner. So I want to stress that. I said last year, when I went to Ghana and started med school, you would think I would concentrate only on med school, right? Starting med school, only med school. No, this bitch went out and looked for dance. And I never looked back. Like, I'm glad I did it. I don't regret it. I feel like it helped me. Like, I notice the weeks, let's say if we're having exams, when I don't dance, I change. Like I feel stressed because it really is. I don't know. It's that important to me, I guess. Now, I am so proud to be here to be able to tell y'all where you can go dance. That is if you're in Ghana, if you're in Kenya, and if you're in Uganda, because obviously those are the only countries that I'm like rotating around. So now let me start with Ghana, because Ghana is my home of dancing. So East West, home is best. When it comes to dancing, Ghana will always be best. Like I've been here in Kenya, and then I was in Uganda, and I was trying out dance places, and I'll be able to tell you the differences. But anyways, let me talk about where first. So if you're in Ghana, so I know Wednesdays for that salsa, you can dance salsa at Afrikiko, and then Thursdays Afrikiko has Kizomba instead. But on Thursdays, if you want salsa, you can go to African Region Hotel. And then Fridays, if you want salsa, you can go to Little Havana. You can go to Little Havana. But if you want Kizomba, you can go to Accra City Hotel. Saturdays, if you want salsa, you can go to Bosphorus in East Legon. Saturdays, if you want Kizomba, you can go to Firefly. Now, which of those nights is latest? Obviously, Wednesday night at Afrikiko is latest for salsa. Like, there's barely space. And then Thursday night is latest for Kizomba. Thursday nights. And then, now that's Ghana. And then Kenya. Kenya. I've been so disappointed in Kenya. I don't know. I feel like Kenya has everything. It's so, I feel like it's such like a modern, well, let me rephrase, Nairobi. It's such a modern city, but then I haven't been able to find as many dance places, and that's been very disappointing. Like, extremely disappointing. Especially because I was only in Uganda for like a week and a half, and I found places fast. But in Kenya, it's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? What? Like, if someone knows more places that I'm going to list in Kenya, please put them down in the comments so people can go. I'm sorry, I talk fast and I struggle with myself, but I can't help when I'm excited. I just talk faster and faster. Anyways, so I'll try to slow down. So Kenya, on Wednesdays, the mid-Wednesday of the month, which is actually today. Today is the mid-Wednesday of the month. So tonight, I'm going to Mercado. Mid-Wednesday of the month, Mercado has Kizomba. And then Thursdays, every Thursday, this is not just mid-Thursday, no, every Thursday, Brew Bistro has Rumba. I went to check it out, and that night they're like, oh, we're not having it tonight. And I was like, who the fuck cancels dancing? What do you mean you're not having it tonight? That doesn't even make sense. You can't cancel dancing. Like, dancing is so important to people. Anyways, on Thursdays, Club Wakanda has Kizomba as well. Again, I went there same night that I went to Brew Bistro for Rumba. I was with Keith. Hey Keith, remember that night how pissed I was? Anyways, Rumba, they cancelled it, then went to Club Wakanda. I'm like, it's okay, I'll still have Kizomba. I get there, they're like, oh, tonight they're not doing it. I'm like, what? This would never ever happen in Uganda or Ghana. I meant to start with Ghana because that's my dance home, but I ended up going with my home first. But anyways, not the point. So I was very disappointed, but apparently Club Wakanda has Kizomba. Let me know if it really is there. I might try and check it out tomorrow if I'm not too pissed. And then yeah, and then Fridays. So sorry, let me go over that. I know I've been saying, wow, this video is already running this long, and I'm only talking about where you can go. So Kenya, mid-Wednesdays with Mercado. For Kizomba. And then, did they do salsa as well there? I think they only did Kizomba there. And then Thursdays, Rumba at Brew Bistro. Every Thursday, apparently. And then every Thursday, Club Wakanda, Kizomba. And then, I think it's Kizomba anyway. And then, not salsa, I think. And then Fridays at Ovo's Art Cafe. They have, the Ovo's Art Cafe. They have salsa. That space is small. It is rectangular and small, and you're supposed to dance salsa in it. Salsa is a whirling dance. We're supposed to have space, but anyways, that's where they chose to put salsa. On Fridays at our cafe. So you know how I feel about that. Anyways, so let's get to Uganda. I'm Ugandan. Hi, I don't know if you knew. So Uganda. Man, we can dance. We really love to dance. So I'll start with Tuesdays. Tuesdays at Cayenne Lounge. They have we're so extra. I love us. So all these other places, if you notice, I'm saying they have Kizomba, they have salsa, they have this, that. Like one thing, Ugandans, we are so extra. We have everything in one night. Everything in one night. So Cayenne Lounge, they have, obviously they're going to do salsa. They're going to do Kizomba. They do some merengue. They do cha-cha. In fact, I didn't even really remember, because I told you I did a bit in Iowa, but I barely remember that shit. It was really nice to have people like teach me. So they also do cha-cha there, merengue, rumba. Did I leave out anything? Because they had everything, and I was so used to in Ghana and Kenya where it's like one night, just Kizomba, just this. And places that do so, sometimes they have bachata, but it's just for a bit. So it was nice to experience all those dances in one night. It was so much fun. It was so lit. Ugandans are so lit. We're so lit. Like, it was a nice change from having the same thing the whole night, which I love, and I actually kind of missed it. I kind of missed, even though I enjoyed having different things, getting to experience dancing merengue, cha-cha, rumba, which I don't experience when I'm in Ghana. It was really nice to experience that, but I started missing my Kizomba, full Kizomba. Because I thought like the song would change from Kizomba to something, and I'd be like, no, I want more Kizomba, or no, I want more salsa. So for our lineup, it's so Ugandan. I love us. The moves we're doing, I'm like, oh my god, you can tell the way we dance is different from the West Africans. Like, it's just, I don't know, that's another thing I love being able to dance in different places, is feeling the differences, which I'll go in detail about later on. But just feeling those differences was so fun, even within the lineup. And the songs we chose to dance to in our lineup, it was nice. Anyways, Wednesdays, Quanta Lounge. Again, they have everything. Quanta Lounge is Quanta, like quantum. I don't know if a Quanta, you know what, that word, that lounge is inside Centenary Park. And then Fridays, Air Lounge, A-E-R. Air Lounge, Air, A-I-E-R. I don't know how it's pronounced, but that's where they have it on Fridays. And it was really lit as well. And I the second time I went, I took my sister and her best friend Brenda, and they loved it. Like, I convinced them to actually do it. I hope they actually do it. But I convinced them to keep doing it without me. So I feel like I'm doing the Lord's work, you guys. And then Sundays, Rock Bar. I don't know if it's in Speak Hotel or if it's near Speak Hotel, but whenever people talk about Rock Bar and Grill, they're like Speak Hotel. I'm like, so I don't know if it's near or in. Now, reasons why you should do Latin Ballroom, especially if you're a woman. I'm kind of going to speak towards women because I'm a woman, so this is my experience doing Latin Ballroom as a woman. Now, first of all, you do not need the perfect body. So, for example, for Kizomba, people tend to be like, oh, you need to have a butt, you need to have a big butt, da 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 da. And it's like, that's bullshit. You do not need a big bum. Don't listen to these people. Like, no, I had someone actually say that. Juliana, I'll call you out. Don't kill me. But no, she was just literally like, oh, you have to have a big butt. I'm like, what? Who said that? Anyone can do Kizomba. And yes, even if you're a bigger girl, I'm representing for the bigger girls. We can, if you can dance, you can do Kizomba or any of the dances. And even if you can't dance, give it a chance so you can see if you have the rhythm for it. Because I've seen people who do ballroom, like any of the ballroom, and they cannot like do like, outside of that they can't do like this regular dance moves. But when it comes to like ballroom, they kill it. Like, they kill it. So you never know. You should give it a chance. A reason you should do Latin Ballroom is it just gives you confidence, because you're aware people are watching and you're like, I don't know, like it gives you confidence because you have to get outside of your body. You have to like get the moves and just dance with someone, and there's a way it makes you more confident. It just naturally does. And then another reason, it makes you more feminine and sexy. Honestly, I'm serious. It sounds so lame, but I'm so serious. Like, I feel like dancing has made me a bit more feminine. I don't know, like, it just, well, first of all, you have to follow as a woman when it comes to ballroom in general, not just Latin Ballroom. You're a follower. And so there's something about that just makes you, I don't know, just more feminine, okay? And then the moves are just so like perfect for just making the girl in you come out. I mean, you even start walking differently. That's how, like, the confidence and the whole feminine sexy thing, like, you start walking differently. I'm serious. Obviously, I don't need to say, it's exercise. Especially when I dance salsa, I leave when my legs are, salsa is a workout. Like, the twirls and the whirls and it's so much fun though. It's such high energy. Like, obviously you can have slow salsa, but like, it gets big. So it's a lot of fun. Actually, while we're on that topic, should I do it now? Anyways, so One thing I noticed that is a difference when it comes to salsa and kizomba, because those are the two dances that I was concentrating on. It wasn't until I went to Uganda that I was doing merengue, cha-cha, rumba. We don't really do that in Ghana. At least I haven't found places to do that in Ghana. So those are the two dances that I'll compare. So, kizomba. I feel like, again, East West home is best, so I might end up making Ghana seem better simply because that's where I learned all these dances properly. But I feel like when it comes to kizomba when I was in Uganda, like, yes, the technique is important, but I don't know if it was just me, but sometimes the guys that I was dancing with, I felt like they were just trying to do more of the thrusts and like the butt moves, and it just gets on my nerves. Like, you're ruining the dance. Like, there's more to the dance. I shouldn't have worn this long sleeve. There's more to the dance than just like the gyrating moves and the, you know, like, there's way more to it. And I feel like they were trying to like make me do those moves more, and that was really annoying because it feels like you're disrespecting the dance, and I take it very seriously. But when it came to salsa, I was so impressed. Like, I was so impressed in Uganda. I really was, because the men are such show-offs, and I love show-off dancers, because when I'm dancing, I want to perform. Like, anyone who's watching me, they'll be like, damn, that bitch enjoys dancing. I'm like, I know, I do. And not only do I enjoy it, but I can be pretty good at it. Like, that's me when I'm dancing. So when you're with a partner who's also like a show-off, that means I'm going to show off as well, and we can show off together and perform together, basically. In Uganda, I would see that the men were like, in salsa, they were such like show-offs and performance, and I was like, yeah, this shit's gonna, like, it was riling me up, you know. So I remember when I went on Tuesday to Cayenne, there was this guy, like, his tall guy in the beanie. Hi, tall guy in the beanie, if you're watching. Anyway, so I saw him dancing, and I was like, yo, this nigga's such a performer. And so I was like, I have to dance with him, I have to ask him to dance. That's another thing. Do not be afraid to ask people to dance. And that's another thing I loved about being in Uganda. Like, that they say it, like, that they're like, ladies, you should feel free to ask the men to dance. And I'm not saying in Ghana it's not something that's said or done. It is done, but I feel like Ugandan women, like, they were just asking niggas to dance like this. And I loved it. It was so chill. But anyways, I was like, I have to ask him to dance. I have to, like, whew. So I warmed up with other people, and then but I was keeping my eye on him. So anyway, so finally I go to him like, hey, can we dance? And he's like, yeah. We start dancing, and so obviously because he's a show off, I was going to show off too, and he's like, wow, you're showing off. So I was looking at him, I'm like, you're talking? And I even said it to him, and he laughed. Anyways, so I was like, and then we kept dancing, and he just kept saying it, right? So then I was like, and the whole time I kept being like, yo, like, I'm just trying to keep up with you because you're a show off, and let's show off together. And then after the dance, I started noticing how the girls are dancing. And I feel like the men show off, but I feel like Uganda women were not keeping up with the showing off. Like, the first person who taught me ballroom was telling me how the women, like, the men shine through the women when we're dancing. That's what I was told. The men shine through the women. So, like, if you're a good leader, people will see through the woman you're dancing with by how well she's like following you and executing the moves that you want her to execute. And so I felt like the girls were just following. They were not, like, they were just trying to keep up, basically. And I was like, so this is why he's saying, oh, I'm showing off, because I am doing like all these, like, and I was just like, I'm just trying to keep up with you. But that's interesting because it seems like they aren't. And I'm not saying none of the girls were, obviously not. Some girls were, but I thought about it and I realized that in Ghana I feel like girls there, like in salsa, like, they really, like, you know, they do their thing. And I was like, yeah, you know what, there's a difference. Who knew, like, learning in Ghana would make me like, oh, you know. But anyways, not the point. That was just one of the differences. So when it comes to salsa, I feel like the guys made me feel like I had to bring my A game in Uganda. But when it comes to Kizomba, Ghana hands down. Like, I feel like they're more respectful. And not only that, but like, I feel like the guys, when you're new, they'll try and like find you partners to introduce you to people. That did not really happen in Uganda. Like, it's kind of like, if you're new, like, yeah, they'll get used to you, but like, figure it out on your own. And so I liked how in Ghana it's more of, it's a bit more welcoming to a newer person. But that doesn't mean you should, if you're in Uganda, you shouldn't do it. You should, like, push yourself out there. That's the thing about dancing, push yourself out there. Now, back to the exercise thing. Like I said, salsa is very exhausting. Like, oh my god. But not only should you do it for exercise, but also you should take dancing as an active hobby. So you know how there's passive and active hobbies. Like passive is watching TV, for example, staying home and watching TV or reading a book. Well, technically that is active. You're using your brain. So maybe not that one. But either way, like it's a good active hobby to have. You should be able to incorporate both the passive and the active hobbies. And it's such a perfect one because you're exercising and you're like meeting. It's an active hobby. You should take it for that reason, basically. If you're an independent woman, a strong independent queen who is just so used to being controlling all areas of her life, I speak for myself, I think that's why I'm drawn to ballroom. Is that's a place where in a controlled way I can give up control. And so like I'm forced to follow. Like the decisions don't have to depend on me. My partner's not making the decisions on what moves we're doing, and it's so freeing in that moment to just like I'm just following you. When you move, like when you put your hand here, like that's all. I do not have to figure out the next moves, and it's so nice. Like it's such a big difference when you're used to just, I don't know, I'm a bit of a control freak, so I think that's part of why I find it relieving, is to be able to just give in and just allow someone to, for those few minutes that we're dancing together, to just take control. So if you're like me, then that's another reason you should do it. Especially because it makes you feel, like, in a sense, when you're dancing with like a good partner, it makes you feel taken care of. I sound so lame, don't I? Ooh, attention. Now listen, we all want attention, we all need attention. I don't care what nobody says, we all love attention. To some extent, yes. Some more than that is fine. But let's say, so you know how sometimes you're talking to so many guys and then other times your phone is dry? Why is it men do not spread themselves out throughout the year, throughout the week? Like, I'll talk to Sandra this time, and then me, I'll line up after this one, and then this one. No, you all just talk at once, and then at some point, slowly by slowly, then it just becomes dry, and it's like, so no one's going to make my phone blow up today. Wow, that's nice. Anyways, for those times when your phone is dry, go out and dance. Like, the attention is... you get a lot of attention when you go out to dance. That's all. Sometimes it's too much, and then you get annoyed. It's too much, but like I said, for those times when your phone is dry. And then obviously, I don't need to add this, but it's obvious, you expand your social circle. So first of all, I'm a non-Ghanaian who went to study in Ghana, and it's med school. If I'm not in class, I'm at home studying, so I don't really get to meet people like that. So Kizomba and Latin were really amazing because I got to meet so many people outside of school, and it's nice to meet people who are not trying to become doctors. So you expand your social circle that way. If you're like me in something that takes a lot of time, then just give it like Thursday night, go out, and you get to meet people, basically. Now, even though you expand your social circle, personally, I would advise against dating someone who dances in the same place as you, especially when you're both regulars. I was dumb enough to do that, and I regret it because, not for the reason that you think. For me, it was because there was so... When you dance off the dance floor, like you're dating this person, so obviously you both love to dance. Obviously you dance together even when you're not at the venue. And so we had like songs that we like to dance to. And so now when I hear those stupid songs, I think of that idiot man. And I don't like it. I think it's partly because I'm... Like, I have 2 top love languages, and one of them is physical touch. So I don't know if it's linked to that, the fact that dancing is like bigger for me as a result if I'm dancing with someone who I'm romantically involved in. But I would advise against dating someone that you're dancing with. I really would. Especially because what if like by the way, I barely think of this man ever. Like, I really don't. But then a song will come on that we dance and I'll be like, wow, it would be nice to be in his arms again. It's like, no, I wouldn't. What am I doing? So I just don't like that. But if you feel like you can control it and it's not a big deal, then obviously go for it. Just make sure you're not one of those people who, when you see him dancing with other people, you get jealous. Because it's just dancing. We're supposed to be dancing with other people, not just, you know, the person you're dating. So just keep that in mind. Even though sometimes when I go dancing, I feel like some girls behave that way and it's so stupid. Like, why would you come with your boyfriend there then? If you guys want to dance alone, then don't come. Don't come to the venue. That shit pisses me off. I understand respect, and I respect like girls who come with their men. But... please just dance at home if you only want to dance with each other. If you're going to come here, we're all going to dance with you. Like, either of you. Shit is so stupid to me. Pisses me off. I feel like I have to mention this one, but apparently it works on people's posture. For me, that does not really work because even while I'm dancing, unfortunately I tend to forget to like keep my posture better. upright. So for me, it hasn't really made a difference, but I've heard some people say that, so I should add that. If you want to improve your posture, it's a way you can do that. And then ladies, here's some warnings. So some guys come to Kizomba, salsa, whatever dance thingy is there, just to find women to have sex with, legit. So it'll be annoying. You might be dancing with someone and it's obvious the way they're, even just the way they're holding you is just, it just makes you so uncomfortable. Like I've had who like basically their hand is basically on my butt and that shit. Like you're violating me in a place where I just came to dance and it's obvious your hand is supposed to be higher. So what I do in those like in that instance, I will stop the dance in the middle of like of the song. And I'll walk away. Like I'll be like, no, I'm good. Like that shit pisses me off. So if that happens, then just literally stop and walk away. And then they try to follow you, then just be like, I'm sorry, I don't want to dance with you. And so another thing, ladies, men will fall in love with you. And I'm so serious about that. I don't care where you are in your like self-love journey or whatever, and you don't believe that shit is true. Like they will. They just will. For two reasons. You're your lovely self. Number two, because dancing is actually I'm going to use this exact same word. When I was in Uganda, I was dancing with this guy and he's like, wow, you're so romantic. I'm like, hey, okay. But I think it's because dancing ballroom is you're these two people who are in this moment, like, and you're holding each other and you're moving to music, and you're, especially if you're really killing it, and like you're feeding off of each other's energy, so it can be a bit intimate to the point where people can fall in love. I haven't fallen in love. Like even though I talked about the person, I didn't actually fall in love with them. I'm more of a, again, because dancing with him was a bit romantic because I was dating him. That's the only reason I hold on to the song. Not the point. But again, the point I'm trying to make is it can be romantic. So people could fall in love with you because you are lovely and because dancing is romantic. So I think it's important to make it clear that you're just there to dance. Like that's what I do. You have to know I'm just here to dance. We'll exchange numbers, but I'll make sure the way I talk to you, I'm not trying to lead you on, so that it's clear that even when I laugh and smile, and I'm just, someone said that when I dance, I light up, and I just do. And unfortunately, if it seems like as if I'm trying to draw you in, then that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just dancing, and that's just how I am. And I feel like that's how it is for a lot of women. Like, you come alive when you're dancing. So, well, okay, I think most do. I don't know, I could be wrong. So as a result, you might join someone and they'll fall in love. Not just one, not just two, but people will fall, like men will fall in love with you. So be ready for that. But yeah, oh my god, there's this thing I want to share. So I've always fantasized, ever since I was thinking about ballroom, I've always fantasized like let's say dancing with two partners at the same time. And so like maybe even going back and like basically going back and forth. And then it happened. But it was beyond my fantasy because for me it was two guys. This happened with, I kid you not, I swear, it was either 4 or 5 guys that night. And it was after like people had left, like it was towards like the end of dancing. I was about to go home. And basically it was Kizomba. So I was dancing with this one guy, and then his friend was like, okay, like he cut it. And I love when people cut it and it's so smooth, the transition from one person to the other. That shit always gets me even higher, because dancing gets me high, like it gets me even higher. So anyway, so that happened, right? And so I was like, oh, it's just going to be the two of them. And then another guy comes, and so I was, when I tell you I had a dance orgasm, I did. I really did. So like another guy comes and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. Now the reason why this has been such a big fantasy of mine is because when you're able to go back and forth between leaders, like different guys and therefore leaders, and you're able to follow them well, like for me I feel like that would show that I have good skill. And so that day I was like, bitch, I'm the bomb. Like I when I tweeted about it, I was like, so like I was saying, so this guy comes and then this other one, and then like this one would try and step in and this one would move me away like, no, I'm not done with her yet. And I was like, bitch, it's my dream and it's come true. And I remember being like, oh no, I wish someone could record this so that I could have it forever. But no, it wasn't recorded, but it's here. It's okay, it's here. It's in my mind and in my voice notes, because as soon as I go home, I voice note all my friends. I'm like, bitch, guess what happened to me? So anyways, I just want to share that. I think that's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in Kizomba. And then in Uganda, it happened to me with salsa, but with only 2 guys, which is enough. Salsa whirls and the turns, like I've already said. Like if it had been 5 guys, I would have been on the floor. By the time it was coming towards the end of the second guy, I was messing up because I was tired. I was like, bitch, I've been dancing all night. And yo, like, and the song was fast. Like, here's the thing about being a bigger girl. It's like people don't expect us to dance as well as slimmer people, which is hilarious. I don't know why, but they trust me. I know what I'm saying. They don't expect us to dance as well as slimmer people and as fast as slimmer people. So when I was in Uganda, I actually went and asked this guy, the first one of the two. I was like, hey, can we dance? He's like, yeah. Then I was like, I wanted to confirm because in Uganda, like I said, cha-cha, rumba, blah, 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 they just keep playing like different songs. I was like, this is salsa, right? Like I wanted to confirm. He's like, yes, but fast. I'm like, oh, it's okay. But I'm sure when he said but fast, he was looking at me like, are you gonna be able to keep up? Nigga, I can keep up, try me. And I did. And so we danced. And people were watching us again. Listen, I'm a Leo rising. We don't mind being watched. So like people were watching, I was like, bitch, I'm good. I'm really good. It was so like you could tell he was like, wow, okay, like, because the thing is, like I said, people don't expect bigger people to be fast, which is hilarious because physics is on our side. Listen, if you're a bigger person, like dancing is meant for you. This is why. So when you're a bigger person, momentum. I googled this before this video, so y'all don't think I'm like some smart person who remembers these formulas when I walk around now. I googled this before the video. Momentum equals mass times velocity. So obviously if you have more mass, you're going to have more momentum. So when people spin me, I turn really fast and they're like, oh wow, that was fast. I'm like, nigga, no. I'm light on my feet and I turn fast because I'm heavy, so let's do this. So we're turning and it was a fast song, we were twirling and shit. And then someone else came and was like, hey, I'm like, again, this is happening again. And no one's here to record this again, but you know it's in my brain. And yeah, so it happened again. And so I started dancing with this other guy, but this one wasn't back and forth. I was so happy when I danced with the second guy, because when I went back for a different night, he remembered me and he like immediately came to ask me. I'm like, so I made an impact, huh? That's nice. But I'm sorry. I just have to tell you all why I love it. As you can see, I really love dancing so much. But now that we've come to the end of this video, I want to thank the people who've so far made such a huge impact on my dancing. I'll start with Kizomba because that's the one that I started with, right? So Kizomba, Nanayo, I'll start with you. You're the first person to like, I don't know, I felt like he was just doing these dips, and I remember being like, wow, like no one was dipping me that low like you, and like you just didn't give a fuck. You were just, I was like, you're gonna break your back. You're like, please. That's the other thing, ladies. Men are strong. I don't know what they do, but even someone so skinny can actually, like the dips and the twirls and the lifts, they can manage. Trust me. I like at this point I'm going to start doubting men can actually dip me and stop freaking out and just give it. But like you were just so ready to teach me all these things, and then as a result Ramos too came on because you two are friends, and so I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. And then Emma, so you came with your Parisian Kizomba and you told me all these moves that people were just watching us and being like, okay. And I appreciate how you just took me under your wing, and you always make sure that, I don't know, you just take care of me and Kizomba, and I appreciate that so much, and always like introducing me to the perfect partners to dance with so that I don't like you just take care of me Kizomba-ly. And I appreciate that so much. And you've taught me such amazing moves that when I was dancing here in Kenya and in Uganda, people are like, oh, okay, that's different. And it's because of you. I know it's because of you. Heck, even in Ghana, because the style of Kizomba you were teaching me is different. So I really, really, really appreciate you too. And then for salsa, Desmond, I always feel so bad because you spend like so much time dancing with me that I feel like I'm taking away from other people. But you've taught me so much, and and I love how you punish me when I'm messing up. It actually keeps me like wanting to make sure I do better, so I appreciate you so much for it. Like part of the reason I was doing so good in salsa in Uganda especially was because of you, and I know that. And Ike, you as well. I really appreciate you guys for like taking me under your wing and teaching me. So yeah, thank you. I can't wait to do that. Seriously.
Toute mon âme se consume à t'aimer.